In the early 1950s, Nigeria was a land of many nations, cultures, and kingdoms. From the ancient palaces of the north to the coastal cities of the south, the country stood at a historic crossroad, still under British rule, yet slowly finding its own voice. Then came a moment that would be remembered for generations. A young queen, a vast African land, and a visit that symbolized power, curiosity, and the changing tides of history. This is the story of Queen Elizabeth II first visit to Nigeria. When Queen Elizabeth II ascended the throne in 1952, she was just 25 years of age, one of the youngest monarchs in British history. The world was changing fast, empires were shrinking, colonies were demanding independence. Nigeria, then the most populous British colony in Africa, was already preparing for self-rule. Her visit was not just royal tradition, it was symbolic, a sign of connection, control, and transition. When Queen Elizabeth II arrived in Nigeria, the atmosphere was electric. Crowds gathered in their thousands, drum echoed through the streets. Traditional dancers welcomed the royal entourage with color, rhythm, and pride. For many Nigerians, it was the first and only time they would ever see a British monarch in person. The Queen was greeted by colonial officials, traditional rulers, and local leaders, all representing a nation still under foreign rule but rich in its own identity. One of the most remarkable moments of the visit was the Queen's interaction with Nigerian traditional rulers. From emirs to obas, chief to king, Nigeria's ancient institutions stood face to face with the modern British monarchy. It was a meeting of two worlds. Old African kingdoms with centuries of history and a European crown built on empire. Photographs from the visit captured moments of respect, curiosity, and cultural exchange. Robes, crown, bead, and uniform standing side by side. At the time of Queen Elizabeth's first visit, Nigeria was still years away from independence, yet the desire for freedom was already strong. Political leaders were rising, national consciousness was growing, and the people were beginning to imagine a Nigeria ruled by Nigerians. The Queen visit came during this delicate moment, when colonial authority still existed, but its grip was slowly loosening. Reactions across the country were mixed and deeply human. Some Nigerians saw the Queen as a symbol of prestige and global recognition. Others saw her as the face of colonial rule. And yet, for many ordinary people, the visit was simply a historic spectacle. A queen walking Nigerian streets, a moment that would be told to children and grandchildren. It became part of Nigeria's collective memory. Queen Elizabeth II would later visit Nigeria again, but her first visit remains special. It happened before independence, before Nigeria became a republic, before the British flag was lowered. That visit now stands as a bridge between two eras, and the age of empire and the birth of a nation. Today, Queen Elizabeth II is remembered as one of the longest reigning monarchs in world history, but in Nigeria, her first visit lived on as something more, a reminder of where the country came from and how far it has traveled, and also from colonial rule to independence, but from empire to self-identity. Nigeria's story continues, written by its people, and for a brief moment in history, a young queen was part of that story. If you enjoyed this journey into African history, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and always come around to watch more interesting videos. This is Africa Exposed, where history remembered and stories are told. See you on the next one.